brought him here to play center back. Really looked at what he has done over many years in England at right back. In particular this season he's played almost extensively as a right back, but last season he was playing a lot at center back. That's where I saw him as well with the national team, and that's where he'll fit in with us. No doubt about it. It was a big characteristic of the profile of the player that we were looking for in the off-season. We were looking for somebody with a lot of experience. We were looking for somebody with a lot of leadership capability. We were looking for somebody that could communicate and lead the back line. And we believe that Jonathan will be that. Obviously, went over there in December and spoke with him at length, spent a couple hours with him, and that was one of my key questions was, do you know what's going on in MLS? And he does. He's been watching it, and he actually said he's had a couple of times where he's done some broadcasting on the MLS games in England. And so he's been paying attention to it. He's been keeping in touch with it. And at the end of the day, he's American. He's born and raised here, so I don't think there's going to be much of a transition, if at all. It was the one piece where I just kept feeling this large anxiety about, because I think it was the most important acquisition that we could make in the off-season was to find that profile of a player. And it wasn't an easy process to narrow it down and to get the deal done. And so in the end, I'm very, very happy. We did. And some of that was an evaluation about what we have here and whether or not what we have here might be a little bit better than what we could change it to. And so there was just a lot of thought and consideration and discussion put into what are the exact right moves that we need to make, what are the areas of the field that we feel we need to strengthen, and what are the areas of the field that we're quite happy with. So I think in the end what we came to, and I think what you've seen, is that we were pretty happy with this group. Certainly we know it needs to improve, but a lot of that we feel is on ourselves as coaches. We need to prepare the team maybe a little bit better, and we need to get everybody on the same page maybe a little bit better.
I think every year as a player it's a new year and another chance to prove yourself, so obviously me and the team are ready to do that. Every coach is different, every preseason is different, every practice is different, but he had a strict fitness plan for the off-season, and he wanted the guys to come in fit so we don't have to work on fitness the first 2 weeks. We can start playing right away. Yeah, I feel probably better now than I have in a really long time going into a season, so I'm ready and excited. Yeah, we have some new faces, some very experienced players in the league. I think any experience you can get and players who've played here before can help, and I think that'll be a big part of the team.
Positive. These kind of beginning to preseasons for every team is pretty similar. Everyone's got a lot of optimism. Everybody's got smiles on their faces. They're excited to be back playing soccer again. You hear a lot of the same things from all the different teams across the country. So I won't bore you with those. But excited to be here. Happy to have this day finally come, and excited to get started. Today was my first real session with them. Nice guys. Obviously, over time, I'll develop relationships in terms of soccer and that kind of things. But, welcomed, I think, most of the new guys with open arms, and understand that this is a business and we're here to compete and win and make each other better. There was definitely some things that he said that I hadn't heard before, so that's to be expected, because he's a guy who evolves and understands that, just staying the same is not going to be good enough in a league that continually evolves and gets better every year in terms of quality of coaches, quality of players. But he's been great. I'm honored that he's brought me here to be a part of his project. He's got big visions for this club, both on and off the field, and so for him to reach out to me and make that call meant a lot to me, and that's the reason I came here. It's big, but as I kind of started with, everybody's kind of doing the same thing at this time of year. Everybody's going on the road to get to know each other and to bond, and I don't know that you can necessarily bond better than another team does. So it's important because we need to go and do work, and we need focus, and we need a place to go and do that where we don't have the off-field distractions that sometimes you have when you're at home. So I think just first and foremost, getting to a place where we can work and put in real work, and I think that's where you'll see the difference between hopefully what we're doing and what other teams are doing.